Nate Diaz relates to Conor McGregor in one of his recent quotes regarding the UFC. Conor said, "I was hoping for a December date, then a January date, then it keeps getting pushed back. Then I lose interest and stop training for a while. Not stop training, I'm always training, but stop full training and start drinking a little bit. So I'm going to go back, regroup, and get full tested, and get ready to rock. The date's going to come, and then I'll be ready to rock." Nate reposted that quote to X. He wrote, "This was me for years before Conor even got here. They want you to die before you get out of these contracts. It's up to you to make something pop. No one gonna help you but you. Free Conor. It's St. Patty's Day in this." Conor replied to Nate via Instagram. Conor reposted it to his story. He wrote, "Haha, my bro. At Nate Diaz." Petr Yan is injured. On X, he wrote, "So MRI confirmed an ACL rupture, meniscus tear, and groin injury. Surgery is scheduled for tomorrow. Nothing will break me. I'm determined to come back stronger than ever in no time." Mark Coleman is now home from the hospital. Mark posted a statement to his Instagram.
Morning, everybody. Just want to let you all know that I'm overwhelmed with the love and support I'm receiving. I can't believe it. I'm so grateful to be here today. I am so blessed. I'm one of the luckiest men in the world. I can't thank you all enough. I'm just so grateful. I'll continue to try to motivate people to move forward and be a better version of themselves. You never know when you're going to need it. So let's go. Start today. Tomorrow's not promised. Get moving. There's stuff to do. Love you all. Sober's cool. Carnivore diet, 9 ancestral tenets. Hammer House for life. You're all in. Thank you.
What's up, guys? The man is back. The hammer's back.
I never left. Well, for a second.
Last week, following Francis Ngannou's knockout loss to Anthony Joshua, Demetrious Johnson in his reaction video said that Anthony would also beat Francis in MMA. Tom Aspinall reacts to that take on the Believe You Me podcast with Michael Bisping. Tom thinks DJ may have said that to make some headlines.
Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, legendary fighter, one of the best to ever partake in the sport. He thinks that Anthony Joshua could beat Francis Ngannou in an MMA fight.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I can see why he said that with Francis Ngannou's style, because he does predominantly throw hands in MMA. But it's not to say, like, I would have thought someone like him would have been a little bit more, I don't know, maybe he might be saying it for headlines. You never know. He might be saying it for headlines. You know what it's like. But just because you don't use it in your fight doesn't mean that you can't do it, if that makes sense. Like, there's a million things that I've not done in my fights that I can do really well. Do you know what I mean? That I can do really well in the gym, but I've not had the opportunity to show them in my fights. Just because Francis Ngannou doesn't throw a lot of kicks in his fights doesn't mean that he doesn't have the ability to throw kicks well, if that makes sense. So I can see why he said it, because Francis Ngannou is definitely predominantly a puncher in MMA. I don't doubt that Francis leg kicks hard. I don't doubt that if Francis gets on top of you, it's hard to escape.
And he did take Cyril Gane down multiple times.
And squashed him for 5 rounds for 25 minutes, near enough. Yeah. He had a lot of top time in that fight, so I can see where he's coming from in one sense, but I don't think that's very realistic, to be honest.
Me and Garry is now selling Make MMA Great Again hats.
Look what I'm selling. Look what I just launched. You really want to piss off Colby Covington? You make MMA great again and you retire. Buy the cap and let's piss off Colby.
Kamaru Usman discusses the connection he had with Colby Covington before the UFC.
It's crazy how the journey, and we can talk about that later on in the show, the journey that I had, the connection that I have to some of these guys, like Covington. The connection, how crazy is it that Me and John Jones were friends coming out of high school. So when John Jones goes to college at Iowa Central, I go to visit John Jones that following year, and I stayed in the room that Colby Covington later then stayed the following year, where he was roommates with John Jones. How crazy is that? This is two people from randomly completely different parts of the world end up in a specific place to where we had tied this way. We both moved down to South Florida to do MMA. Colby Covington was offered to me as my second professional fight. I accept. I'm hearing he accepted, and then some people say he didn't accept, but we didn't end up fighting. The fight didn't go through. I ended up taking someone else on short notice, which is my second professional fight, which I lost. He gets in the UFC while I'm on the Ultimate Fighter. Our path is just like, we're like going this way, and we eventually clash for the title.
Alex Pereira uploads footage of him getting quote-unquote knocked out by the rapper Lil Tjay in sparring.
Oh, he's behind that. Stop playing with him. What the you do, bro? Caralho, que isso, velho?
Recently, Conor McGregor suggested that he wanted the Nate Diaz trilogy fight in the Sphere at UFC 306. Dana White immediately shut that down.
Conor McGregor says he still wants to fight in June, and he also mentioned he wanted to fight Nate Diaz in the Sphere on Mexican Independence Day. Do either of those two interest you?
I'm looking for Mexicans at the Sphere on Mexican Independence Day.
Nate?
Huh?
Nate Diaz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that fight.
In an interview with TalkSport today, Conor expresses his frustration that Dana not only shut the idea down right away, but he did so publicly. Conor said, "I got the Diaz trilogy. That's what I said I wanted for the Sphere. There was cold water thrown on that publicly off the bat, and I wasn't happy with that. I need discussion or conversation, because if I lose interest, I'm not getting anything back and I just drift off, my man. So I hope I could just get something in and get dialed in." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from MMA for Life. It says, "We may all hate Colby, but I think we hate Ian Garry even more." The second one's from Ryan B8736. It says, "Jake Paul looks to fight Mark Coleman next." And the final one's from Nate Marks. It says, "Again, there's no way Ian attends the press conference with Colby. He would end up crying to his wife's boyfriend." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.